All right, so if you don't have the paper, you can write it. You don't have to have the printed copy, okay? So let's talk about what expression means in math. We talked about what a numerical expression was. So what does expression, what do we talk about that meaning? All right, if you look up there on the chart, a numerical expression is a math phrase with numbers, symbols, or operations. Let me put operations instead of symbols. That'll make more sense to y'all.
Will variables count?
For algebra, we are going to add variables or letters. So I'm going to give you two examples. The first example that I'm going to give you is 4 plus c. The second one is 5x. Okay, I want you to write those two. All right, if we talk about something that is constant, who can give me an example of something that's constant for you?
Depression.
Okay. Breathing. Who breathes constantly? What else is constant? Feel it right here.
Heartbeat.
Your heart beating is constant, okay? So, constant is something that is always happening. It does not change, okay? So, let's look at a couple of examples that I've given you. I want to talk about this. So, I've got a box plus 7. So, what if I put 6 plus 7? What's my answer?
13.
13. What if I put 3 plus 7? 10. What if I put 10 plus 7? 17. What if I put 1 plus 7? 8. What if I put 13 plus 7? 20. What's constant? What's not changing? What's not changing? What's constant?
The 7.
The 7. The 7, the plus 7 is not changing. Okay? So, what if I put a 2 here? 2 plus 22?
24.
24. What if I put 1 plus 22?
23.
23. 10 plus 22? 32. What's constant there?
The 22.
The 22. The plus 22. Okay? So, constant is a quantity that does not change. It never changes, okay? Does not change. So, if we have our two examples, 4 plus c and 5x, okay? Now, the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at 4 plus c. What's constant there? What's not going to change there?
4.
4. The 4 is not going to change, okay? The 4 is constant. 5x, what operation's going on there? Times, okay? So, I want you to do this. 5 times x. I want you to do it right now on your paper.
5 times
What's constant in 5 times x?
5.
5. The 5 is constant. the 5 is not going to change, okay? The x is going to change, but the 5 is not. So, our next term is variable. I want you to say that word after me. Variable.
Variable.
Okay? Variable, the root word is vary. Okay? And vary, I don't know if you've learned that word before, means change. Okay? If something varies, it changes. Alright? So, every day for lunch in the cafeteria, do we have the same thing for lunch?
No.
No. So, does it vary?
Yeah.
Yes. Is the temperature the same every morning?
No.
No. Is it even the same at lunchtime as when we woke up? No. So is the temperature variable or is the temperature constant?
Variable.
Variable. It changes. It varies. Okay. What time I eat sometimes changes, right? So the variable is the quantity that does change. Okay. So if we look at our examples and we use the same two, we have 4 plus c and 5x. What's going to be my variable for 4 plus c? C. C is my variable. What's going to be my variable for 5 times x?
The X.
The x. Okay, the x is the variable. It's the one that can change. Okay? All right, so I'm going to change up the slides just a little bit because I want to do something before we talk about what evaluate means. Okay? So I want you on the left to write this example. X minus 9. And if you don't want to write the words variable and constant, you don't have to.
It just closed out
Closed out and then came back out.
and then closed out again.
And then it did it
came
like
back
2
out.
times.
Oh,
That was weird.
that was weird. It's still up there. Okay, so you don't have to write the whole words. You can just put V and C. But I want you to write X minus 9, and I want you to write put your V and your C. And we're going to talk about if we can identify what those are. So, what's the variable here? What can change?
The X.
The x. All right, y'all, I want you to pay attention. Anytime we write a variable, it's always lowercase, okay? You never write a variable as an uppercase letter, okay? It's always a lowercase letter. So, the variable is x. What's constant here?
The 9.
What kind of 9? What are we going to do with 9? What are we doing with 9? Minus. We've got to keep the minus, okay? We're always going to minus 9 here, okay? Every time. Let's try another one. No, maybe not. All right, I want you to write this one. And you can put a V for variable and C for constant if you want to. And then we're going to talk about this one for a second. If the number is written with the variable, what does that mean? What did we just say over here that means?
Multiply.
To multiply. We've got to indicate that that is multiplication. Every time you see that, you need to either put a dot or you need to put parentheses every time, okay? Or you're going to make a mistake. And we'll talk about that mistake in just a little bit. But please get in the practice of always putting a dot or always putting the parentheses. So, Jamarius, what's my variable? 5/10 times y. What's my variable? Variable is something that can change. It's the letter. What's the letter here?
The Y.
The y. And it needs to be a small. You can write it like that or like that, but don't write a big, huge one. And what's constant here? What's my number? What's not going to change?
5 times 0.
0.5.
5 tenths. 5 tenths. All right, I have one more. And I want you to do this one completely by yourself, and I'm coming to check it. If you don't write down the examples, you're not going to get it. All right, Alvon, what's my variable?
The what?
Nope, my letter. What's my letter? M. What's my constant? What's my number?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. It's just a positive 3, okay? All right. Now, what does the word evaluate mean? We've talked about that word several times. What does it mean? What does it mean? That was on your test.
Make easier.
To make easier, to simplify, or to solve, okay? It means to simplify or to solve. We're going to get an answer, okay? So, we're going to follow these steps, okay? We're going to use these same examples, and we're going to follow these steps. So, I want you to write down the first example again. X minus 9, whereas X equals 15. Because we're going to plug in a 15 for X.
What's that? There was a mark on it.
All right, if we look over here, how to evaluate. What's step 1?
Substitute the given value for the variable.
We're going to plug it in, okay? What does it tell me X equals?
15.
15. So over here where I've got an X, I'm going to write a 15 right there, okay? Now what does step 2 tell me to do?
Rewrite the problem.
Rewrite the problem. So I've got 15 minus 9. What does step 3 tell me to do?
Follow PEMDAS.
Follow PEMDAS. 15 minus 9 is what?
15 minus 9 is 6.
6. All right, I want you to copy this one. It's the same one. 5 tenths y equals, whereas y equals 2. So I'm telling you that y equals 2.
Wait, what's the thing that looks like an eye in the middle of it? Like the letter I?
It's a semicolon,
Oh.
like this. Okay, I want everybody to put their pencils down. Everybody put your pencil down. Okay? I'm going to show you what happens if you don't put the multiplication symbol. Okay? if you don't put the multiplication symbol, step 1 tells us to do what? Plug it in, right? So I'm going to plug in 2 for y, all right? Step 2 tells me to what?
Rewrite.
Rewrite it. Step 3 tells me to what?
Follow PEMDAS.
Follow PEMDAS. Do I need to do anything? Nope. So what's my answer?
It's not that.
It's not that, because I didn't what?
You didn't add the multiplication.
I didn't add the multiplication symbol. This, my friends, is wrong, okay? You must put the multiplication symbol. If you don't, you are going to get it wrong. Do you understand?
Yes.
Every time. There is never going to be a time that you're going to get that right if you don't put the multiplication symbol. So let's go back. Let's put our multiplication symbol right here. Now, plug in my 2 for y. Can I multiply a decimal going straight across like this? No. Okay, so I want to go up and down. So I've got 5/10 times 2. Okay. What's 2 times 5? 10. Put down my 0, carry my 1. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, how many numbers do I need behind the decimal?
1.
1. So what's my answer?
1.
1. Okay? Do y'all see how easy it is to make a mistake if you don't put the multiplication symbol? You've got to do that every single time. Okay? Alright, the last one I want you to try by yourself. Okay? And I'm going to come around and check. M divided by 3 for M equals 18. M divided by 3 for M equals 18. All right, so what are you going to do? No, you don't need that. What does step 1 say? Plug it in.
Just let you know there's 2 different things. This is your problem. This is what you put in, and that separates it.
All right, the first step is I have to do what?
Rewrite it.
No.
I mean,
What is the
plug
first
in.
step?
Plug it in.
Plug it in. What am I plugging in? M equals 18. So what am I going to write for the M?
18.
18. Now what do I do?
Rewrite.
Rewrite it. Now what do I do?
Follow PEMDAS.
Follow PEMDAS. 18 divided by 3 is
6.
6. Okay. All right, we do have an exit ticket for today, but I